You're wired in. SmallCapVoice.com. Following is a presentation of SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support. Now, with your online business briefing, SmallCapVoice.com's Stuart T. Smith.
Welcome back, everybody, to SmallCapVoice.com, and thank you so much for joining us for this online business briefing. We're welcoming back to the show Ted Caligiuri. He's the president with Medical Marijuana Incorporated. We're here to discuss the company's third quarter's positive financial results and a lot of subjects and questions from the shareholders. First, let's welcome Ted to the show. Ted, how are you doing today?
Great, Stuart. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for calling in here today so that we can answer some of the questions for the shareholders, but primarily just learn about an industry and a market segment that is really on fire right now. Obviously, this segment's enjoyed a lot of awareness because of the recent votes and elections. Give me your take on the industry. You know, you had these states like Washington and Colorado with groundbreaking passages of now recreational marijuana use, as well as we now have, I believe, 17 states that allow for medicinal marijuana. If you would take a step back, Ted, and give us your take on the industry.
Well, thank you. Colorado and Washington votes certainly resulted in both states legalizing marijuana for recreational use, which has certainly been groundbreaking. I was personally in the state of Colorado for the first medical marijuana business conference, which was very, very professionally done and really represents future growth of this industry. That was hosted by our subsidiary Dixie Elixirs and Red Dice Holdings, and that was it was very, very well done and very exciting. So effectively, with regard to these votes, we've seen kind of a ripple go across the world. All the states in the United States and throughout the world are now looking differently at medical marijuana, at marijuana in general, its benefits, and the potential for legalization across the board. Specifically, you know, when we look at Mexico, they're in a position where they're saying there's no more moral ground to stand on with regard to keeping medical marijuana illegal. Furthermore, Stuart, the countries in Latin America have virtually been exploding with their legislative activities. Uruguay has legalized hemp. They've got a bill in Congress for legalization of marijuana. You've got Guatemala seeking to legalize hemp. So many of these countries that have not had the support of the United States in the past are getting, feeling that they can literally move forward on things they would not move forward on before because of the United States. So the moral ground really has changed. The number of countries in Europe and are also pursuing legalization, and we're seeing a huge move within healthcare markets to bring medical marijuana into the healthcare world on a legal basis. So, Stuart, with these changing markets, we continue to see the expansion of our phytosphere harvesting of industrial hemp, expanding country by country, continent by continent, and the opportunity for us to bring our knowledge and our technology to those markets will continue to be pervasive. We really are excited about our expansion with the industrial hemp world. In addition to that, as THC continues to be expanded in its use within medical environments, and as that becomes legal, we will continue to expand and grow within those realms as well.
Well, Ted, let's jump into some of the shareholder questions. Go over the reasons for the increase in the authorized shares, and if you would, go ahead and give us what the current float is.
Yeah, Stuart, happy to do that. So our current public float is now up to 363 million shares, with 750 million shares authorized. Over the course of the last quarter, we've raised a substantial amount of capital to support our growth. As we've increased issued shares in the past, we've brought on companies like Dixie and Canchu, along with their valuable intellectual property, which have brought extremely good value to our shareholders. In addition, we have 2 new lines of credit from 2 institutional firms that are dependent upon our uplisting, among other factors, to be put in place. In the process of putting these new lines of credit in place, we have the advantage that HDDC and Cannabank, our largest shareholders, have agreed to provide security in the form of their equity as collateral. As terms of the lines of credit, we're required to increase our authorized shares so that they had additional leverage against market pressures. The company is also in the process of closing several transactions we have discussed over the past quarters, as well as several additional product expansions and new product launches. So our current position is that we're doing what we need to do to continue to grow, and I think that serves our shareholders well.
Well, if you would, Ted, give me some specific examples, if you would, for this extended capital, the raise in the authorized, and what you've done in the past using that capital to create the company you have here today.
Well, yes, Stuart. If you look at just our Dixie product line, we've got the Dixie X product that we've now expanded into and converted to Dixie Botanicals, and that product line is sold in over 400 locations in Colorado. Our expansion opportunities there, as states legalize, we can turn around and take those same product opportunities where we dominate the market within Colorado. We can expand that brand into new states by finding other license opportunities and other market holders within those markets to bring together production that duplicates what we've done in Colorado. Effectively, we can expand state by state as the states throughout the United States become legal. We can begin to take brands that we have and those specific product lines. We've got the tinctures in the form of drops. We've got the salves or balms that have proved very useful in skin ointments and topical applications. And we've also got pills that have become very popular in the Colorado market. We can take those same products and in those new states duplicate the Dixie model in those states. And so that's an extremely exciting opportunity. In addition to that, we're taking very much of those same products in addition to our gum line and planning on launching those within very, very solid commercial markets in the natural products arena. And we can do that because we've gotten a full regulatory review on these products, and we know that we can take these to the commercial market. So that will be a whole new world that we're expanding into, and we've been spending money on the legal side of that, the product development side of that, and we're really going to knock people's socks off with what we deliver in that arena.
Well, that takes us to the next area, which another shareholder wanted an update as it relates to CanChew. So, Ted, if you would, give the shareholders an update on what's going on with CanChew Biotechnologies.
Okay, well, CanChew, of course, is a very exciting product for us and effectively represents our template for what we're going to be doing with various products in the future. We've got a proprietary delivery method with CanChew that is virtually revolutionary in the market, and we're very excited about that. We've taken a step back from some of the things we were going to do with our free market trial, and we've looked at what we're doing with the brand, the appearance of the product, and the taste of the product. So effectively what we're doing here is introducing 3 different versions of the product to participants. We're taking packaging opportunities or packaging options and branding options and presenting those to approximately 400 participants that will receive a very nice Christmas gift. Each participant will receive about 72 pieces of our CanChew gum in various forms. All of those forms presently contain 50 milligrams of our hemp oil, which will deliver approximately 6 to 7 milligrams of CBD to each individual with each piece of gum. So we're very excited about what we're doing there. We expect to get very good feedback from that focus group that will help us target this product to our market, which we believe is really the conscious consumer who is open to homeopathic remedies and the like, and we really believe we'll be successful in that marketplace. In addition, Stuart, when you look at the CanChew product line, there's a whole other dimension of that product line that will evolve over time. We will take and start clinical trials in 2013 in Europe to begin to create and work with a pharmaceutical product develop higher potencies targeted for specific activities or specific remedies. And in essence, that becomes a whole new expansion where we develop a pharmaceutical product, and that will take a period of time, a period of years probably. But when we do that, we will essentially take the pharmaceutical market by storm.
All right, moving on, Ted. The next question is in regards to the uplisting process. Any updates for the shareholders and listeners in regards to the MJNA uplisting process? Go ahead, Ted.
Well, certainly, Stuart. This is a topic extremely important to us and all of our shareholders. We have just received news today, the 4th of December, that for tomorrow morning, our yield sign will be moved off our stock, and we will be a full current OTC Pink listing. We've had everything accepted with regard to that, and we're excited to see that move forward. And we'll certainly be working to make sure we don't have any of those delayed filings occurring again. But essentially, with regard to the filings submitted, we have updated all of our submittals to our market maker, BMA Securities, and we are in the process of getting all that information forward to work on getting our 211 filing completed. That filing certainly leads us to the point of requiring audit financials. We are at this point, at the end of December, early in the year, we are hoping to launch on a full audited process. One of the things we're being very careful about there is making sure that we've got everything done in-house that allows that audit to go extremely smoothly and take the least amount of time possible. So as that's a very comprehensive process, we've taken huge efforts to make sure that we've got the in-house process together, and that's why we've been delaying this process, is just to make sure we've got everything moving smoothly.
Well, thank you so much for that, Ted. Now, we want to know about MJNA now being a potential buyout candidate. A lot of shareholders and people that post on some of these message boards have been speculating about this, so I thought maybe we could get a comment from you on MJNA being a potential buyout candidate. Go ahead, Ted.
Okay, thank you, Stuart. Certainly there's been a lot of talk in the industry, and I think with the climate out there, with the legalization in Colorado and Washington here, that has brought a lot of people from the sidelines into the front lines in terms of interest in getting into this industry. And there's certainly been a lot of speculation from shareholders and others about us being acquired. Basically, at this point, we have had interest expressed, but we are in a position where we certainly are not interested. It's like being interrupted in the middle of a dream, right? We don't want to stop doing what we're doing, and we feel that would probably happen if we were effectively a target for an acquisition at this time. We think we've got a great plan. We don't think we'll be ripe for any large acquisition within the next couple of years, because our plan is to become the acquirer as opposed to the acquiree. We think that our expansion model will allow us to take on a lot of the firms within the industry, and we think we can do that a lot better than anybody else coming from outside our industry, because we've got the knowledge of what it takes to operate within this industry. So as opposed to us being acquired, we really think we're going to be in acquisition mode, and that certainly is where we're headed for next year.
Well, if you would, go over some of the goals for the company in Q1 2013. We've had a very exciting year with MJNA in 2012. What can the shareholders, listeners, and potential investors expect from the company in the next quarter?
Well, the most exciting things we've got going in Q1 is that we expect to launch in the beginning of March many of our products. We're going to be very aggressive in pulling triggers on manufacturing at large scale, many of our products in the beginning of January, and those will all be ready for full market launch come March. So that will be very exciting. And at this point, our focus in the launch of those products is the Natural Products Expo in Anaheim in early March. So we expect to have market distribution already tied up and working when we launched most of those products. So that's one of the most exciting things. In addition to that, we expect that in 2013, we will begin to refine our raw ingredient line that will allow us to deliver our hemp oil as a raw ingredient to other manufacturers, whether they be vitamin suppliers, drink providers, water suppliers, a variety of industries that we think would benefit from the use of our hemp oil products. And so we will be prepared to expand our market with regard to those raw ingredients, and we're very excited about that opportunity.
Outstanding. Well, thanks so much for your time here today, Ted. Listeners, if you have any additional questions for the company, you can reach me directly at 512-267-2430, as well as via email, smith@smallcapvoice.com, or just visit us at the website, smallcapvoice.com. Well, as I said, thanks so much for your time here today, Ted.
Well, thank you, Stuart. I appreciate you taking the time to hear our story and expand the awareness among our stockholders of where we're going and what we're doing.
Outstanding. Well, listeners, another exciting day for MJNA. Currently, the stock is up 10% for the day here on December 4th. If you'd like to learn more about the company, please visit us at Small Cap Voice. Grab that investor fact sheet, or once again, just give us a call. For Ted Caligiuri, this is Stuart Smith saying thanks so much for listening.
SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support, provides its clients with the highest level of service. Our audio interviews are disseminated to one of the largest opt-in audiences available today. How? We at SmallCapVoice.com believe in aligning and affiliating ourselves with other leaders within the investor relations community. By sharing resources, each affiliated firm is made that much stronger, and each client is served that much better. Our focus is to identify and provide the very best financial services and solutions available to clients and their shareholders. For more information about our services, please call us at 512-267-2430 or visit us on the web at www.smallcapvoice.com. This is a broadcast of SmallCapVoice.com, a financial communications and investor relations firm. SmallCapVoice.com receives payment for investor relations and financial consulting services that it provides to its clients. You should assume that officers, directors, and employees of SmallCapVoice.com or financial analysts mentioned and their families hold a position and intend to trade in these securities for their own accounts. This is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell securities. Information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be, nor should it be construed as, investment advice. As in all investments, an investment in a featured company carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the company thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This broadcast does not purport to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from the featured company and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by SmallCapVoice.com as to completeness or accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice.